Alright, today we're going to talk about making, pretty decent cup of coffee, or I should say espresso. Um, yeah, so one of the reasons why you buy expensive machines is because it takes a lot of the human error out of doing something. So, by using an industrial grade grinder and a pretty high quality espresso machine, and then we're also using consistent beans. So we've been using these Lavazzo espresso beans. We exclusively use these now. So but the trick is to, I'm super lazy, and I want the machine to do the work for me. So this will make a very consistent grind, and this will make a very consistent espresso. We just picked up a brand new tamper. This is one of those bottomless ones. It's going to do some pretty cool stuff in the bottom. We'll be able to see the espresso come out and see the cream on stuff, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I've been using this particular machine for a very long time. I think it's been, what, 5 years? And I've been using this grinder for about 3. I picked both of these up used. I actually had to replace the boiler in this guy. This is a really cool device, and everything's replaceable in it. So if one thing fails, you're not going to throw it out. You could buy replacement parts on eBay, and I'm sure this is a similar deal. And this is it's a Mazzer Luigi Super Jolly, and you'll see these at your local cafes and coffee shops. Like I think I think Starbucks might even use something similar. It's pretty overkill for what I do, but it's just what I have. So yeah, the first thing I do is I will grind up my coffee. And I usually put this guy under here. Now my original portafilter system actually was able to sit really nicely in here. This one, not so much, because it has the spouts that it pours out of. So this ought to be interesting. Let me see how I'm gonna get this going. Yeah, so I already spilled some, but yeah, so basically it comes out of here once it's ground, and then it falls in these chambers, and each one of these chambers is pretty much a shot of espresso. And then it's got this lever over here, so that sets the timer, so that'll tell the grinder how long to grind. And then this lever right here is going to drop each shot into the portafilter. Oh, you know what? I'm forgetting a piece of kit that I always use, which is a funnel. So funnels are pretty useful for preventing spillage, which I'm totally doing everywhere. But yeah, I'll usually throw a funnel on here. And you know what? This might be too tall. No, it's fine. It'll work. So yeah, just get all that coffee in there, and then what I do is I will put the tamper up here. So yeah, there's no way to put the camera down. Put the tamper up here, and then I'll level off the coffee, and then yeah, I'll have level coffee. I don't measure it, I just kind of level it, so I'll do that. And what I'll do is I'll use the straw and then just, level it. So cool. Now that it's level, what I'll do is I'll come in with one of these, which is another kind of leveler, except it evenly compresses all the coffee. So I think it's called a distributor. See, Now we have a nice even distribution of all of the coffee. And then last I have a spring-loaded tamper. So this thing, again, I think this is all, what is it, 38 or 58 millimeter? It's either 58 or 59, I can't remember, but now all I have to do is just press down on this a few times and I get it tamped. And now I have, there's still some stuff around the edges, but it's basically perfectly tamped coffee. So now I'm just going to throw it in this here espresso. This is the first time I've ever used this particular part. Oh, I'm missing something. I'll be right back. Yeah, so I almost forgot about this thing. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. I break these. Like, this one's a brawn. It's kind of like, you can use whatever you want with this Gaggia Classic, but I break two of these a year probably. So I go through them. I just pick more up at thrift stores for like $1.50, because a lot of people donate their machines without these and vice versa, so you'll see these floating around. But anyways, this is so much nicer. Okay, so this used to bump into the other portafilter system because it had those spouts on the bottom, but now look at that, there's tons of clearance. I actually kind of like that. Okay, alright, so we're gonna, this has been on for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. Basically all we got to do is hit the espresso button. Oh, okay, nice. So I have to grind this, grind the coffee down finer with this portafilter system. So that's something I'll work on, because it's obviously coming out way too quick. In order to do that, I just move this over a little bit, and there's already beans inside of it, so it might not go over too much, but I'll get it over as much as I can. So just barely moving this is going to make the grind significantly finer, so it'll be pretty consistent eventually. But I don't know, so far, once I get it nailed down, it'll be more perfect like it's supposed to, but I think that's pretty good for now. I'll just grab one of these. I usually have a couple stacks of these, about 8 of them, and then that's really nice that it just slides out of there. Pour this in here. Nice. Alright. Oop, I got some condensation on the camera lens. That's kind of cool. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of how I make coffee. I'm going to nail this new portafilter system down because everything's set up for the old one. So, yeah, pretty cool.